When owning a traditional home is out of reach, what's left? Social media calls it van life. We need to call van life what it actually is.
But you know, it's so funny though. A lot of these people, they vote for Trump and they talk about the third world. Bro, you can't find houses like this in Jamaica. This doesn't exist.
And that's a really good point, to be honest with you, because again, you know, you think about the platform in which many of these right-leaning politicians are, you know, positioning themselves on. And there is this undertone of superiority, you know, and if that's the way you feel, and that's the way they feel, then, you know, fine. But I think for me, what you would hope is that they would do things that reinforces that feeling, i.e. ensuring that everybody that is a citizen of the country they're leading is living in dignity, right? Because then that would reinforce that mindset and that feeling and that positioning of our country versus other countries. But actually what you're finding is the opposite. You know, it's they want people to, well, we don't know what they want, but it seems as though we're in a situation where people's living standards and dignity are going down. They're bringing in economic migrants or taking advantage of a global, you know, labor force. And basically everybody is having a race to the bottom in terms of pay, in terms of how they're living. And all it's doing is creating wealth and value for those that own the assets, that own the businesses, and businesses are commercial assets, essentially. Because again, it's a way of generating future cash flows, and it's something you can own. So again, it falls into the definition of an asset. So again, if you have a monopoly, you are hoarding commercial business assets, and therefore you have cornered the market, as they say. So, you know, it's very, very interesting that, you know, many would look to other countries and say, well, at least it's not as bad as, you know, at least our situation isn't as bad as that. But what you'll find is the haves and the have-nots, wherever they are in the world, the dynamic is the same. And there will be people, you know, in these poorer countries that are doing very, very well. Because again, the dynamic exists. They're able to hold the assets and therefore leverage that position over the rest of society and over the rest of the citizens of that country. So as I say, the very, very top, in terms of economic wealth, they will all live a very similar lifestyle, a very similar existence, and the rest of us will be fighting for what's left over.